you've been with two offensive geniuses, in your career, Sean Payton, Mike McDaniel. And I know Mike McDaniel doesn't have the Super Bowl trophy to back it up or anything like that, but I think we can all agree that, damn, you guys did some really cool creative stuff and people were wide open a lot in Miami, right? How about just speak to the differences or the things that were similar between a Mike McDaniel and a Sean Payton, and maybe where they're a little different in their approach as well?
The similarities to me is like they are different. They're different minds. They different. They see the game different than many of us that's walking this earth. And I would say the similarities are their obsession with creating advantages.
Right.
It could be for Sean, it was personnel advantages and where he would line certain people up. Simple motions, but it told him a lot.
Right.
And that's all he's looking for. The who you had lined up on Jimmy Graham when he was all the way away from the formation told him everything.
Right.
Who you had lined up on Michael Thomas when he goes in motion, like, you know what I mean, who's following him, that told him information.
Yeah.
So for Mike, it's the same thing. So who's following Tyreek when he goes in his speed motion? Who's bumping out when Jalen Waddle goes from the backfield to the X position?
Right.
It told him everything he needed to know. So their obsession with gathering information and seeing ways to attack defense was very, very similar.
Right.
The difference is just the approach. Like Sean was more military style. It was tough. It was in your face, like aggressive.
Yeah, gonna cuss you out, gonna say some things like, "What the f are you doing? How the f can you do this? We went over this 80 times last week, right?" You know,
Mike wouldn't do that. Mike wouldn't do that. What would he? When he got mad, what would he do?
Mike really didn't get mad much. Like he would stay the same.
Yeah.
And he prided himself on that, like not being up or down, not switching up, he prided himself on being consistent and being able to just communicate. And like, y'all try to talk through it, which is different than Sean, because it was, hey, you do this shit this way, or I'll have somebody in here Tuesday auditioning for your job. There's a ton of them waiting. I just gotta make a call. Like, that's what Sean would say that to you during the game, so he didn't have no problem shaking up your mind and shaking up your mental, but Mike is a different approach.
You think the Dolphins could use a little bit more of that? Because obviously I've had so much talent, playoff team, it didn't go quite as well this past year. What do you think the Dolphins need or they didn't have that could have got them to the next level?
Yeah, no, look, I think it's more than one way to win. You know what I mean? I think Super Bowl champ Pete Carroll is the happiest, nicest dude you've ever seen in your life. So it can be done that way with that type of positivity and enthusiasm, for sure. For the Dolphins, man, we've had some unfortunate runs in the health department.
Right.
My second year, we really, really strongly felt like we had something, had a chance to go and compete for a championship, and that's all you want. But we walked into the playoffs with maybe a defensive starter.
Right.
It was tough. It was tough to overcome that. And then this past year was up and down with the injuries, man. Losing Tua week 2, 3, we never was able to right the ship, and we battled back to get into playoff contention. But last year we really didn't have a legitimate chance to go to the playoffs and win a playoff game. It never was a chance. We never caught that stride and got that chemistry and flow going that it takes to win those big games. You know what I mean? Locked in on the details. Everybody knows exactly what you're going to do. We just had so many moving parts. It was hard to ever get into any type of rhythm.
Where do you think the current status of the Dolphins is right now, right? I mean, we're in a spot where I know my friend that I work with, Mike Florio on Pro Football Talk, we've both heard that, hey, there's people in that organization that not sure Tua can get them to where they need to go. Jalen Ramsey's asking for a trade and wants out there. We know Tyreek Hill's shown moments of not being totally happy there, right? How do you kind of see things as far as the direction of the team down there in Miami and where it's going right now?
Yeah, man, I don't think there's any team, even the Super Bowl champs, Philadelphia Eagles, that are perfectly fine with their current situation. Like, it's questions. Every season you come into, it's questions. Can he do this? Can they do this? You know what I mean? It's questions, and it should be. That's a part of the offseason program. It's a part of all the way up until we kick this thing off. We don't know. It's everything's a question, honestly. So for the Dolphins, man, I think they have a very talented team, and I'm a firm believer in Tua. I am. I've seen his process. I've seen him go into a mode of being a killer. Like, I've seen it.
Yeah, right.
In person. I would love to see it more. Would love to see it more often. Love to see him get rid of teams more often. Like, I would love to see that. And I think from the trajectory of his career, he's only gotten better. He's only improved. He's only made smarter decisions. The durability, you know what I mean? That's the biggest thing. If Tua is able to be healthy every game, the Dolphins could win every game they play. I truly feel that way. But if he's not under center, it's a completely different team. It's a completely different offense, and it makes everything tough. Yeah. Defensively, I like where they are. If we can get Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips healthy,
right,
that defense is the top, whatever you want to call it. Chop Robinson is a real thing. They got some great additions that they brought into that defense. Bradley Chubb and Jalen Phillips can literally change the direction of this season for the Miami Dolphins.
Right. Jalen Phillips, I mean, by all due accounts, in my opinion, looks like he's on the verge of being a superstar, really, in the NFL before he gets hurt, right? I mean, he's a special player.
Absolutely. Special player, special athlete. He loves it. He's obsessed with it. He wants to destroy you when you line up against him. Just two very unfortunate, untimely injuries, but it couldn't happen to a stronger person, a mentally stronger person. He's going to be back to form. Like, that's the craziest thing is you go through two catastrophic injuries. Not many people will be able to come back and fight their way back, but he will be back to form.
Are you surprised after everything you just say right there that, like, Jalen Ramsey wants to leave, that he wants to get out of Miami? Like, I'm a little surprised. Like you said, I mean, I'm not sitting here going to pick the Miami Dolphins for the Super Bowl, but yeah, there's still a lot of good damn players on the team throughout the roster.
Yeah, no, for sure. And he's one of them. He's one of the great ones, for sure. I mean, his personal reasons I can't really speak on.
Yeah.
I think it's a matter of you do what's best for you, and the team has to do what's best for them. You know what I mean? So, ideally, if you ask me if I'm the GM, I want Jalen Ramsey on my team. I want him to be in the building. I want him to lead the young guys and lead by example and bring a great energy to the building.
Yo, homies, what's up? Thanks for watching Chris Simms Unbuttoned. And just because the weather's warm doesn't mean football ain't still on our brains right here.
We are still working, so smash that subscribe button. We got all the training camp news, preseason news, everything up until kickoff night.
Thanks for watching. And again, remember to hit that subscribe button. Peace out, homies.